kinetic chain. The easiest way to remember the kinetic chain is think of your body as a chain link fence, you know, just like a chain, like a long chain of links, literally. So if there's any, all of us have some imbalances within that chain link or that kinetic chain. So we're going to have to watch our students to make sure that we keep them safe within the normal range for their own body. So for example, you have 5 points to clarify or to be sure that you're in alignment or in safe alignment, because that's our job as instructors. So the 5 points, you always start from the bottom up. So the first would be your ankles or feet. So again, these are some of the different things you'll see. Is anybody NASM certified? So that's actually that's the personal training certification I have, and they're very big on the kinetic chain. And actually, that's part of what you should always do as a trainer for NASM, is you always look at those misalignments or those imbalances within people's kinetic chains, which you'll see, because what it is, it's imbalances in the muscles. And so you'll see for some, when you start here, you'll either see people turn in or go out. So then what happens when I turn in? What do my knees do? If my feet overpronate, my knees fall in. And if I supinate or come out to the side of my foot, what happens to my knees? They bow. And so, you know, one of the things, it's one of those imbalances in the kinetic chain that we have as instructors. That's the whole reason why we have the ability to coach. So, for example, I'm going to use you. She was coming to you for your knees. They were coming in. So, you know, oftentimes, if you, depending on how much knowledge you know as far as personal training, you know it's probably coming from here. It's actually not coming from the knee. So we got to look again at that chain link. Where is that misalignment? And usually it's coming somewhere from the bottom up. The other thing is, somebody said to me about feet. You know, flat feet sometimes will give you foot pain, and so you just have to know there's going to be things that you're going to be asked about, and you don't want to, of course, give any absolute answers, because I'm a nurse practitioner. I can do a little bit, but I don't. As instructors, you can't do that. So it becomes kind of a fine line. You just want to say talking about. So starting at the feet, then takes us to our knees, which again, some people will say, I have this pain in my hip. Well, is their hip the problem? Probably not. It's probably somewhere down the kinetic chain. So it's probably somewhere further down. Some people will even say, my elbow hurts. It's probably coming from somewhere else, the shoulder. So again, you have point 1 is the feet or ankles, point 2 is the knees, point 3 is your hips, point 4 is the back, which some people will get you know, more of what's like a hyperextension in the low back, or they'll be rounded at the shoulders, which is your 5th point. So you always want to make sure you look at the body like a chain link. If we're friends on Facebook, you can actually see I posted that one, a really great picture where you can look at the kinetic chain and see it's like a chain link all the way up from the bottom up. So that is our job as instructors. And also I say, use the mirror. If you have a mirror as a student, use the mirror, because I might think that I'm totally in the right position. Right here, that might feel like totally perfect for me. Am I perfect? No, my knees are turning in. I don't know that unless I look at myself. So utilize your mirror. Tell your students, watch yourself in the mirror. Look at your alignment. And maybe they don't know, and so you have to go up to them and say, can I touch you? And help them to fix that, whatever imbalance or misalignment they have. Now, insanity is for all levels. We have to remember that. People are going to ask you, can I do it? I'm a beginner. Yes, you can. And how we know that is we can always regress or progress into that movement. So the best example is doing a push-up. So you can get a push-up and you can go on the wall and do a push-up. That would be your first step. If you've never done a push-up, you start on the wall. You're holding only a portion of your body weight up. Next thing would be on the ground. You can be on your knees. Then you can maybe make another modification where you put one foot out and you're doing a push-up on. So it would kind of look like this. So you would be so you would start here, and then you could do one knee out, or take it to a full plank position, and then to make it even harder, you can add a hop at the top, or at the bottom like we did. So you can take it to a push-up with a jack. So those are different you can progress or regress, take it down. so everybody can be successful. I had a husband and wife that wanted to come to class, and one of the things that we do at our gym is called Together Strong. We want husbands and wives, brothers and sisters, moms and daughters, whoever, to work out together. Well, this wife hadn't worked out, and her husband did. So she came to insanity with him. She was very basic fitness level, and he was higher. He could do jumps. He could do this. He could do that. He could do everything in the advanced movement. She could not. So I focused a lot on her to try to get her to progress into what she felt comfortable and safe with, within her own alignment and her abilities. And again, you can, so it's range of motion. That was what I just showed, the different range of motion. You can also speed and timing. So you saw when I was the modifier today, I could do the mountain climbers without the intensity, the leaving the ground, which is another one that you could progress to. And then you can go to speed, so faster, or change your lever length. You know, of course, we want you to get a full lever length, so you don't want to stop halfway. But if you're brand new, it's okay for them to have a shorter lever until they can get themselves to that next level. Or maybe the knees aren't as high, and then it comes up higher. So again, those are all progressive. And then as we saw, as I was the modifier, we can regress all those movements. The next level would be adding the plyometric, which is the jump or the power. And it's a different system, so some people are just, you have to work up to that. Maybe you get 4 in, maybe you get 3 in, maybe you get 20, I don't know. So you want to just be able to know those different levels and know how to take them back down. Whenever in doubt, as an instructor, this is what we teach our instructors at our studio, whenever in doubt, just decrease the range of motion. So if I'm in a squat and somebody's saying, I can't do that, well, instead of going all the way to the ground and touching the ground, just stay up higher. It's still a squat, and you're still working those muscles. And then when you're stronger, you go lower. And when you're stronger, you add power or speed. So that's just the basics of the kinetic chain, and then using the different regression, progression of insanity. Any questions? Good.